Thank you, everyone, and welcome. My name is Marina Fernandez, and today with Ángel Vicente both from Plataforma Jazz España, we will be making this Jazz Panorama session. This session is a consequence of the networking program that we are working, as you know, because of the Reconnect special edition of Jazzahead. We're making one Jazz Panorama per country. The first was Switzerland, today is Spain, and next week is France. So welcome again, everyone. Just one thing, today we are going to be 2-3 people talking from Plataforma Jazz España, but the Spanish representation in Jazzahead is bigger. We are 6 institutions, and they are today, I think we are almost all today here, so I'm just going to mention them for you to know us all. Plataforma Jazz España is the Jazz Festival Association in Spain, and we have also Institut d'Estudis Balearics, with Xavier Barceló is here today, Institut Catalán de Empresas Culturales, ISEC, Sounds from Spain with Fundación SGAE and INAEM, Junta de Andalucía Internationalization Department, and Instituto Cervantes. And with Plataforma Jazz España also, Acción Cultural Española and AIE. So we are a clash of institutions, but today is Plataforma Jazz Jazz Spain talking because we are the most focused in jazz. So we are going to have an overview of the jazz scene in Spain. My name is Marina Fernandez. I am the coordinator of Plataforma Jazz España and the director of 2 jazz festivals, Jazz Cádiz and Jazz Sahara. And before passing the word to my colleague about the questions, we will make the presentation, the whole thing, and if you want, you can leave the questions in the chat. When we finish the presentation, we will go to the chat, resolve the questions. If there are more questions coming, we will resolve them at that moment, okay? So thank you again, and now I pass the word to my colleague, Ángel Vicente. Ángel, the micro. You have to open it.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm going to introduce myself. I am Ángel Vicente, and I have been working since 2003 in many different aspects related to music. In the last few years, my principal activity has been musical events coordinator for several public and private institutions, such as Almeria Town Hall, and coordinating the Almeria Jazz Festival since 2019. My participation in this 25 Jazzahead with Plataforma Jazz España, PJE for short, is principally to be in charge of the Spanish member participants of the association. Although in my professional activity, I work daily with many musicians as a booking agency, and my company has clients all over Spain. I'm principally based in Almeria, is in Andalusia, in the southeast of Spain. And Andalusia not only has a great Mediterranean influence, but also from cultures all around the world, not so unlike jazz.
Okay, kan en matchratte mitt.
Sorry, Mike, this mic. Okay. Okay, in my 20 years of experience, I am connected to every aspect of the musical business in Spain, not only coordinating a booking music event, but also creating musical content for important international brands such as Cartier or Yamaha, or Barbadillo Wines, a fantastic wine company based in Cádiz, which, by the way, will be collaborating with us at Jazzahead and offering you and all the visitors some magnificent wines at the event in Bremen. Okay, now I want to make a short introduction about Spanish cultural diversity in order to contextualize the jazz scene here in Spain. With 17 different individual communities and 52 unique provinces, Spain is a large country of 500,000 square kilometers, yet only less than 50 million inhabitants, And this situation allowed different cultures to develop and flourish all around the country. For example, the North Atlantic coast has a deeper relationship with Celtic culture, and in contrast, the East Coast is influenced by the Mediterranean culture, of course. Other important aspects are the two archipelagos islands, the Canary Islands in the Atlantic Ocean, with great South American and African influence, represented in Jazzahead by Miguel Ramirez, director of Festival Canarias Jazz y Más, and the Balearic Island in the Mediterranean Sea, represented by our associate Xavier Barceló from Firabe. Firabe is a showcase fair. Of course, furthermore, Barcelona and Madrid, which form the main cultural cities in the country. The reason I have mentioned all of that samples is because Spanish cultural diversity is reflected by the Spanish jazz creation scene, by an important group of cultural institutions, as we will see later in Marina exposition. Of course, definitely Spain cultural and jazz scene is a place where... Sorry, one mic is open. Can you turn off? Thank you. Okay, definitely Spanish culture and jazz scene is a place where everyone belongs. And this is seen in one of the interesting musical examples around the jazz emerging in Spain, called it flamenco jazz. Flamenco jazz is a consequence of the fusion between traditional folk music, flamenco, and jazz. It is interesting to know that the beginning of this relationship maybe came from the approach of two great American musicians, Miles Davis and John Coltrane, who recorded two albums in the early 60s, influenced by the Spanish music. Miles Davis released a sketch of Spain in the 1960s, and John Coltrane released his album Olé in the 61. Of course, we can't forget the most famous track by Chick Corea, who was one of the most influential contemporary jazz pianists of the 20th century, named it after our country, Spain. In Spain, we have a large number of projects that draw on this influence to shape the repertoire of their projects, such as Antonio Serrano or Trinidad Jimenez, who are playing in our showcases on Tuesday and Friday. Spanish jazz musician has the way multiple rich influence in addition to flamenco, shaping a rich and diverse jazz scene, which we will all experience at the Jazzahead showcases. To complete this overview of jazz in Spain, I am going to mention the festival Spanish school associations and foundations we have. We have there approximately 150 events and festivals of different sizes that schedule jazz performance. We have nearly 20 jazz clubs, official jazz clubs, that they only program jazz projects, and another 60 venues that included usually jazz performance as part of their programming. There are almost 20 schools, including stage-run conservatories and schools that teach jazz, and highlight the growing activity of foundation as association in the jazz scene. One of these is Classic Jazz, based in my city, in Almeria, and is represented by or associated Pablo Masuecos in Jazzahead. In addition, one of the next projects of PJE is to analyze the scene in more details, which allow us to better understand the needs of the jazz scene, not only in Spain, but across the world, and highlighting the future jazz allegations that maybe arise from this Jazzahead Reconnect. Regarding the musicians, we have one main association in Spain, is UMP, which was formed as a union of 12 small associations that exist before 2020 concerning the COVID-19 crisis. And it works at the moment principally with the national government to develop an artist status, Estatuto del Artista, to better organize the laboral situation of the musician in Spain. We believe there is a great creative activity around the Spanish jazz musicians. For example, in the recent edition of Jazz, a showcase festival inside Jazzalia, one of the most important ones in Spain. Jazz is a showcase festival by national musicians. They have received this year more than 200 proposals, and in the last 5 years, nearly total 800 proposals of different jazz projects in Spain. In representation of all this Spanish creative, we will have the following performance in Jazzahead. Tuesday 24th, we have Momi Maiga in the Hall 7.1 stage. Passionate Senegal musician, composer and singer who has dedicated his life to creating a new sound. And 24th in the midnight, Trinidad Jimenez in Magazine Keller. She is a flautist and from Andalusia, living in Madrid. And she has the PhD from the University of Seville in flamenco jazz. Friday 25th at 6 o'clock, Antonio Serrano and Kale Jimenez in Instituto Cervantes. Antonio Serrano is a Spanish jazz and classical harmonica player and a great passionate of flamenco who played with Paco de Lucia for many years. At 6:45, showcase of Irene Reit's Quartet at Hall 7, stage 7.2. She is a saxophonist and composer born in the Raval neighborhood of Barcelona. 9:45, Marta Marcilla of Fritz Theater bring her new project. Marta is a flautist and vocalist in the Madrid jazz flamenco and pop scene, and she is composer and producer of her music. Saturday 26th, at 1 o'clock in Instituto Cervantes, Tri Planetas is an Andalusian project, but not influenced directly by flamenco. They bring novel and avant-garde approach of jazz. And in the end, we have the showcase of Marco Mezquida at Slaktov at 7:45. Marco is a musician, pianist, composer, and improviser born in Menorca. Okay, around this great musical activity, we have two more relevant events. One of those is Fira Ver in Mallorca, which is a general music fair with a great presence of the emerging jazz projects, led by our associate Xavier Barceló, and Jazz Jam, the jazz meeting, which takes place in Barcelona and led by our associate Rosa Galvani, who will explain after something more about the fair. Okay, with this, hope to give a general vision of the jazz scene in Spain, and now I will hand over to my colleague, my boss, Marina, who bring more details and information all about that.
Thank you, Angel. After this big frame of the artistic part, we will go to give some, be careful with the microphones, if you can close them, okay? I will share my screen and talk to you about different elements of the Spanish scene. Now it's the data time. I hope you can see the presentation, okay? So we've been talking, Angeles, he's been talking, he made an introduction, sorry for that, see, and he's been talking about musicians. Now we will talk a little about festival venues, education, labels, media, awards, and others. About Jazz Festival, just to tell you, we don't have in Spain something like a database of the totality of the jazz festivals, but we have around 100, more or less. You can check them in different sources. For example, with PJE, Plataforma Jazz España, we have a calendar where you can check them looking using the date. So if you go to the last year, for example, 2024, you can see the festivals happening in the different moments of the year. It's a useful tool we use for this. Also, we have okay, wait a second. We have another support to know another resource to know the festivals we had, and it's the study, a deep study we did in the 2020 after the pandemic, and we took deeper information about 88 jazz festivals in Spain. You can also check it in our webpage, but you can see it one by one. But normally there is not something like a database online when you can see the number. You normally will check these two resources and the media. We have, at the end of this presentation, we will see the media you can check to look for the festival. This is in terms of numbers. In Plataforma Jazz España, we have 33 jazz festivals associated. I show you this image just to show you that the festivals are spread all around the Spanish geography, in the coast and inside. In Spain, normally the important times for the jazz are summer around July and autumn around October, November. Of course, you have festivals during the whole year, but those two moments are very intense in terms of programmation. And because we are a very touristic destiny, it's true that normally summer festivals happen in the periferia, in the coast, in summer, and it's more intense, the activity there. And in autumn, around October, November, the activity is more intense in the center. This is not a 100%, but it's a strong tendency. And about the profile of the festivals, source of funding, I will tell you some data we have from our members. There's always normally a mix between private and public, and this mix changes. That's why I didn't put any number there. Changes from 70-30, 50-50. I mean, it's a mix of funding. Budget, we have very small little festivals around the whole country, from, I can tell you, less than 20,000 euros to very big, strong budgets like around 1 million. And number of concerts, most of the festivals have between 4 and 10 concerts. Very few have more than 10, and not few that have under 4 concerts. I say not few because there are, in Spain, there are a very big number of small festivals that they have 2, 3, 4 concerts. In terms of artistic program, there is a variation rate between male and female. The programmation of female proposals is increasing, but still doesn't arrive to the 50% on the average. This data is from our members. I repeat, we don't have the data of the whole country, okay? And in terms of origin of the programmation, we have more or less 60% national, 40% international. Normally, smaller festivals program more national, bigger festivals program more international. There's a lot of jazz festivals in Spain where a Spanish musician can play before going abroad, in the sense that there is a lot of national programmation although jazz musicians also express that they want more. This is an intense debate, important debate of more national programations in our festivals to pay attention as programmers. In audience, we have smaller, from 300 more or less to 20,000 more or less around. About venues, small venues and clubs, you can listen to jazz in almost every city of Spain, but that doesn't mean you have a specific jazz club. There are some jazz clubs in Spain. I did put some names here. You can find them in, as you see, Madrid, Andalusia, Barcelona, and Valencia, all over. You can take these names later if you want and check them. But about the venues, just to give some data, normally jazz clubs in Spain are 100 private, and they don't have like support from the government. So it's not so easy to survive. They really struggle, and they mix programations and mix contents to move forward. It's challenging to have a jazz club in Spain, but there are many and very good and with programmation. Budget per musician, that can change a lot, but it depends on the audience, on the musician level of professionality, and many others. Number of concerts, they can be from weekly to some in the capitals, make with one musician various days per week. And the artistic program is similar to festivals in terms of gender, but in terms of national and international, there is, of course, more national programmation. There are smaller venues, small jazz clubs. And the audience, I guess, like in general in other clubs that you know, from 4,000 to 2,000, depending on the capacity of the venue. In terms of jazz education, in Spain, there is jazz education more or less from the 70s. The first school, non-regulated, let's say, informal. The first school was born in the 78 in Barcelona. And then in the 80s came Taller de Musics, and many others came later. But the first formal studies, I mean, where you can receive a title, formal title and superior studies, they arrived in 2001 in Catalonia with the SMUC. And from that moment on, you can find that kind of studies slowly in all over Spain. In Catalonia, you have different proposals, as a SMUC Liceo, Taller de Musics, but then in the rest of Spain now you can make these studies in Madrid, in Galicia, and Andalusia, and Valencia, and many other communities. And in parallel to this, the informal, non-formal schools, they continue and with an important role in the music, because the schools that they go to the first moments of the jazz education and also to the new audiences, and so are very important. So there we can have many schools all over Spain, like Seda Jazz, Classic Jazz, Jazz for Kids, and many others. I cannot put in this presentation all of them, but there are many small jazz schools in Spain. I leave here some names just for you to recognize them. We won't stop here, but like SMUC, Taller de Musics, Liceo, Musiquena in País Vasco, Creativa in Madrid, Berklee College of Music in Valencia, the conservatories of Valencia, Sevilla, Coruña, Málaga, El CAM in Málaga. Here talking about superior studies with formal education. And also, let's say, informal private studies, we have many also in Pontevedra, of course, also in Catalonia, in Galicia, in Extremadura, etc. In terms of levels, we could talk about some who have shaped the jazz record history in our scene in Spain, no? Like, for example, Fresh Sound Records and also Nuevos Medios. They've been very important in the 80s and later, especially in the style of flamenco jazz. They discovered many musicians and produced many records. But we have others spread around the geography in Spain. Like, for example, Blue Asteroid Records, they are in Andalusia. They are focused just in Andalusian jazz. Or Seda Jazz Records, they come from Seda Jazz Collective in Valencia. They have released a bunch of jazz records. They have a very abundant production. Or for example, The Changes Music, very new from the 2019, promoted by the saxophonist Irene Reich and other musicians. Very new and fresh. And there are other names, interesting, small, very talented minds choosing proposals to produce. I leave you here some names if you want to check them later. Microscopic, Caronte, Yukali Music, Seed Music, or Underpool, for example. Okay, we continue with the scene, with this overview of the scene. If we go to media, you can find many ways, all digital, to know about, to be updated of the Spanish jazz. Toma Jazz, they have been working for 25 years on an online magazine. They still do. Mass Jazz is younger. They used to have a very nice magazine in paper. Now they are only in digital. They are very focused also in the national jazz, but not only. Caravan Jazz, they've been last year in Jazzahead, very fresh and young, new block of jazz. Then Club de Jazz, you will find Carlos Perez Cruz behind this Club de Jazz. He will be in Jazzahead following the Reconnect edition. He makes a podcast, a weekly podcast about Spanish jazz with a lot of, I think in his podcast you can find like everything with the Spanish jazz musicians. Then you have Esfera Jazz. This is a nice compilation of jazz podcast. Like if you go to that web, you will see many different jazz podcasts, always about Spanish jazz. So you can choose. It's an interesting compilation. Then Apolo Ibaco, they are from Sevilla, also since 2001, 24 years, talking about jazz. They have a very updated webpage on jazz festivals. If you want to check jazz festivals, this Apolo Ibaco is a good source. And the rock, they talk about Catalan jazz and international jazz and other music. Of course, they are focusing on other music. And then you have journalists in Spain in general. Some names there, they just write in different super medias. Okay, talking about awards in the Spanish jazz scene, we found these four more important. You can find the awards of Getxo Jazz Festival. They go to the best young jazz bands. Getxo makes this year 47 edition, is one of the oldest festivals in our country. The grant is the award. It's an economic dotation and also the recording one CD. This happens in July, and this is an international contest. So you can present your band. If you are from Europe, you want to present your band to Getxo Jazz Awards, you can do it. Also Talavera, Jazz Talavera, they have an award that goes to the best young jazz bands like Getxo, musicians under 30 years, also international. You can also present here your band. The awards, it's an economic dotation. Then we have Tete Montoliu Awards, promoted by Fundación SGAE. In this case, these awards go to the best jazz composer, not under any age, just best jazz composer. And in this case, it's national, it's a Spanish context. It happens in November. And well, finally, we have Plataforma Jazz España Awards. In our case, the award goes to the best two emerging bands, one male and one female. This happens every 2 years. And the award we give is a tour around jazz festivals from our association. It's national also. In this case, it's a national award. Okay, talking about the associations, at a national level, there is only Plataforma Jazz España as a jazz association putting together the whole country, right? We are an association of programmers, jazz festival mostly, but not only. We also have programmers from venues and schools and meetings, like we were saying, Firabe and Jazzayam and Jazzeñe. About musicians, there is not a jazz musician association, but it's a musician association. This is the case of Unión de Músicos, UDM. They've been working very strong, as Ángel said, in the Estatuto del Artista, in the rights of the musicians in terms of work. And talking about associations, I can tell you, if we go to local or to regional, the importance of the associations is very strong. In Spain, there are many small associations articulating the audience and the first contact with jazz of many citizens in our country. And they are very active. Here I comment a couple of names. For example, since 1989 is the Asociación de Músics de Jazz y Música Moderna de Cataluña, very active till that moment, since that moment till now. For example, in Andalusia, also from 1998, Clase Jazz in Almería. But I could say many other names that I cannot say in this presentation, but I can tell you it's in a very important level of cultural vitality of the jazz scene in Spain that make this first experience with jazz happen to many people. Okay, about export institutions, briefly, the institutions I will mention now, they are the institutions you will find in Jazzahead. So if you want to visit our booth, you will find us. But yeah, you can find Acción export institutions at a national level, national institutions are Acción Cultural Española. They have a program called PICE for the mobility of the Spanish musicians, and also for the mobility of visitors, delegates from outside. Acción Cultural Española makes the export of the musicians, but also bring international visitors to Spain. They have this double profile in their grants. This program is called PICE, Program Internationalization Culture of Spain. Then we have Instituto Cervantes. Many of you will know it. In Bremen, in Jazzahead, we have an Instituto Cervantes. This institution is to promote the Spanish culture and language, but also the music. There are Instituto Cervantes all over the world, and they program also jazz. There is also Sounds from Spain. These big institutions coming from the minister. They focus in helping the musical companies in Spain, the empresarios, the companies that they are working and developing an activity in terms of music, not only jazz. And they connect the experience of internationalization of ICEX, export institution, with INAEM, which is the Minister Cultural Institution. And then we, as Plataforma Jazz España, we make a catalog of every 2 years of 15 proposals, and we move and help them to promote abroad. And this catalog, these 15 proposals every 2 years in the international scene. This is in terms of national export institutions. And if we go to regional export institutions, I can tell you, as you are seeing in Spain, we don't have like a centralized one only bureau export. The export activity happens from different institutions. Sometimes they work together, sometimes independent. But as you could see, we have this national. Each one has the profile of activity. And if we go to regional, you can find almost in every region an institution that can work more or less in internationality and internationalization, and export. In this case, I just mentioned these three because we are the institutions present in Jazzahead. Maybe some of you know ISEC, Instituto Catalán de las Empresas Culturales. They've been for many years in Jazzahead. They are promoting the Catalan arts and Catalan jazz in this case. Also, Instituto de Estudios Balearics, they are behind FIRABE, and they promote a specific Balearic language, culture, and therefore Balearic jazz. And Junta de Andalucía is coming for the first time this year with the internationalization department, is investing in jazz this year in Jazzahead. And yeah, they will be bringing agencies, managers, and musicians, of course. And we have a conference, okay? To talk about all this, we have a conference where we will be talking about the sport strategies of Spain, Switzerland, and France, comparing, describing. This will happen in Jazzahead. You have the date here if you want to come. And to end, we'll end with meetings. In Spain, we have 3 important jazz meetings. Jazz is happening in summer, in the month of July, inside the programmation of Jazzaldia, as Angel was mentioning. And it's a showcase festival with a selection between many proposals. Angel was saying the numbers, there are many proposals happening. It's not a meeting, it's just a showcase festival with international delegates from Europe and beyond Europe. And it's promoted by Fundación SGAE. Then we have FIRABE, promoted by Instituto de Estudios Baleares, as we said, is happening in November in Palma de Mallorca. And it's not just about jazz, it's about music in general, but they have a very strong showcase festival in jazz with all the new proposals, and also a very interesting meeting when you can attend 2 conferences and meet other professionals of the jazz scene in Europe and not only. And finally, we have Jazzshead. Many of you know this meeting is the Barcelona International Jazz Meeting run by Rosa Galvani and Taller de Musics. And we are going to finish this presentation with the little explanation of Jazzshead. Rosa Galvani is here. And I think like Xavier Barceló is also here. Maybe he also wants to mention after Rosa something of FIRABE. So this is the end of my presentation. Now we will hear Rosa and Xavier, and later, if you want, we can go, we can listen to the questions and talk a bit about all this information. I hope it wasn't too much. Thank you. And Rosa, I think you are around?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, about Jazzshead.
About Jazzshead, well, Jazzshead is the international jazz meeting based in Barcelona. Last March, we celebrate the 7th edition with a big success in a new venue. It's called El Molino. And yeah, it's not a fair. It's not a fair with commercial booths. It's just a meeting of people for to put the new talents from Spain on the international scene. As you know, and as Marina explained, we have a lot of bachelor and universities of music here in Spain. So is there a lot of musicians, of professional musicians and students and new musicians every year. So we need to expand our scene, no, our stages for these musicians, and Jazzshead it's a way to show this lot of talent that we have in Spain to the international presenters, to the international artistic directors of jazz festivals, jazz clubs. Now soon we will open the call for the artists. It's an open call with a jury, with artistic directors behind, and is there a selection of around 12, sometimes 11, sometimes 12, sometimes more bands from Spain. And also we invite every year a country. We focus in a country every year. Last edition was Sweden. It was a success because also well, we invite like 2 or 3 showcases from this focused country, and also we invite a lot or more than normally presenters and artistic directors of this focused country. And in Sweden, they have a very well-organized network of clubs and festivals. So a selection of this network came to Barcelona, and like this we can have more sustainable results, because it's not just one gig, the interest of the bands showcasing at the Jazz AM. So in this case, there's some bands that they have already 6 or more or less gigs around Sweden. So, and yeah, this is the thing to work in Jazz AM, to expand our scene to play for these new talents, and to do in the most sustainable way as possible. And also we have a part of talks, and every year with the curator here in the Taller de Música Candela, we try to do the best, try to program the most interesting topics for the jazz scene, for the jazz professionals and musicians around. So you are very welcome always in Barcelona to the Jazz AM. And yeah, is there a website, jazzam.barcelona, and you can find there the resumes of every year of the last 6 years, now 7. So you can see the ambient, no, the atmosphere of Jazz AM. It's something familiar. Now this year was bigger than ever, but it's very familiar. It's very easy to talk with the people and to have nice talks and nice network around Jazz AM. So this is Jazz AM. Thank you, Marina.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rosa. We always say, if you want to know the Spanish scene, we say to the Spanish musicians and agencies as well, you have to go. You must go to the meetings. You must go to Jazz AM and to Fira B. And it's incredibly how Jazz AM has grown in the last 7 years. And it keeps, as Rosa said, this familiar atmosphere, no? And we have also here Xavier Barceló from Fira B. I don't know if Xavier, if you want to explain a little about Fira B happening in November in Palma de Mallorca.
Hello, my name is Xavier Barceló, and I work for Instituto de Estudios Balearics, which is an institution of the government of Balearic Guidance. And part of the whole strategy of export, we decided to set up like a showcase festival and conference. From the beginning, it started with jazz in mind, as well as other genres, and jazz has been a very important part of jazz of Fira B, since maybe 2016, 2017. We've been inviting presenters from all over Europe, and of course from Spain, to the meeting, and since 2021, I think it is, or 2022, we've been hosting the meeting of Plataforma Jazz España, the Jazz Festival Association, which means that it's got a strong presence of Spanish presenters, which sometimes is difficult because we tend not to move too much, it seems. We started as a Balearic conference, and then it grew, and we've been having bands from the Balearics, but also from elsewhere. We've had people from France, from Poland, from Israel, from, I don't know, from many, many countries. And we work through an open call. We have a jury, international jury. We also have a focus country. Last year it was Poland. This year it's France. So we hope that specifically French people would be interested in attending our conference. We will have a specific call for French bands as well in the near future. So this is something to look up to. We've already had the call for this year. We closed like we have it in January. So if you're interested, please go to our website, fidabe.org. And if you want to attend, the days will be between the 6th and the 8th of November this year. It's always interesting to be there and to see the people, to talk to people directly. And Palma, which is the city that hosts the meeting, is always nice to visit. So we hope that you can come. Thank you.
Thank you, Xavier. And thank you, everyone. I think this was all our presentation. Do you want to mention something, to ask something? Just put it on the chat or speak, because I think in the chat we don't have questions. Thank you to our colleagues from Switzerland and friends. We are making a very beautiful, intense work for this Reconnect edition this year. And you have to visit us on the booth because we have prepared a lot of things and we have worked a lot on it. And just to say hello to my colleagues from here. And yeah, hello again. So before going, do you want to ask something? Or to comment something? Are we okay? Will there be many programmers at Jazzahead? Please. From Spain, we are bringing programmers to this special edition. Yes, there will be musicians and agencies, but also festivals. In the case of Plataforma Jazz España, we are specifically investing in that, bringing our members to the Jazzahead Reconnect. So yes, there will be numbers. What can I tell you? We are bringing, Angel, I think we are bringing 18 festivals, no? Around, but there will be more shortly. Thank you, Gary Brunton. Okay. This presentation is, okay, see you there. This presentation has been recorded, so we will upload it on the webpage and you can check it there. If you want to ask or comment something else, this is your moment. Otherwise, we can follow the day, continue with our agendas, everyone. So I think this is the case. So thank you very much again for following this Jazz Panorama and being connected with this Reconnect special edition. And we will meet in person very soon. Okay. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Rosa, Xavier. Thank you, everyone.